the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh!
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. This is episode 1169. Another week. A very eventful week to begin with here. It's a lot of stuff happened, especially yesterday.
Yeah, we got out on bail, fresh out of jail.
Yeah, and we'll. It's interesting, and the out on bail thing changed later on, where first it said out on bond, and then the next one said by court order. Like that was updated later. I don't know if I don't know what the difference is, but we'll dive into that in a moment here. Everyone give the stream a like. We're back another week. Help us out by supporting the show any way you can, whether it's giving the stream a like or checking us out on the audio version of the show where we just did like a 10-minute pre-show. That'll be available within the next 24 hours. So check that out. Check out our sponsor, Vance Global. Get 20% off a bunch of cool products there. Link down below. Use our code Peasants for 20% off. Let's get into it without further ado. As a very wise wizard slash military special ops guy said,
I don't buy into that jargon.
You don't buy into that?
I don't buy into that
you don't
jargon.
Buy into that. Huh. Okay. All right. Here we go. We're gonna start it off. Wow. Wow. Ba, 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 ba.
Oh, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Are they going to touch me?
I always use the first intro of the show to dispute the demonetization that we get at the very beginning of every show. It's cute how that happens, but, you know, it goes how it goes. So, Chris Chan.
Christine Weston Chandler, custody record, age 41, gender male, race white, Virginia Central Virginia Regional Jail. Out of custody, says bonded out.
Out of custody. So the news broke yesterday that Christine Weston Chandler has been released from jail after almost 2 years. And in this picture, she has probably lost 50 to 70 pounds.
You think they've been taking her cornbread?
No, I just think she doesn't get to eat whenever she wants. So, like Chris just used to be able to just sit around their house and like eat whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted. And now, you don't get to choose when you eat in prison.
Mercedes Carrera still locked up. Christine Weston Chandler free.
So part of that, I don't know the details of the bond or however this happened. There is a chance that they may have granted them bail and pending trial, or there hasn't been any word on the charges being dropped, but if they think that they're not a danger to anyone and that they're not going to try to run, they'll let them out pending their trial. So that might be what's going on here. Or maybe they decided to drop the charges, that there's not enough evidence to really pursue it.
They haven't brought her to court yet after 600 plus days.
Yes.
So initially they had to...
Welcome to the Tuesday show of the Drunken Peasants. Just a couple of guys who drink and talk about the world's problems. We're not experts, but we sure act like it. Tip train.
Tip
I
train.
am an expert.
That was an AI Twitter bio that Egghead made for us earlier.
AI head.
Yeah, it was like an AI that writes your Twitter bios. Someone said, I thought jail and prison are two different things. They are, and I misspoke. It wasn't prison. I mean, but in both jail and prison, you don't get to decide when you eat.
Well, Christine was in jail for a year and then had to be upgraded to a federal charge, right? Because you can only have...
I don't believe
or
they
was
were
it not
being
federal? But there's something happened at the 1 year point because you can't be held in jail for longer than a year.
Then why has Mercedes Carrera been in jail for 4
Because
years?
her lawyer keeps postponing their trial.
They're in the Central Virginia regional jail this whole time. They did not go to a federal
At
prison.
the 1 year point, they had to do something to recharge Christine. Remember?
Well, they put him in like a psych hospital for a little while. There was that, but they've always been in the same jail aside from when they went to the hospital.
There was something where the charges had to change around the 1 year mark. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was.
It's definitely not a federal.
The
case.
initial charges were something that you couldn't be held for over a year, so they had to reintroduce her into the system at the 1 year mark. And if they hadn't done anything to go to court since then, they're probably just put her out. But they have to have a place to put her too, right?
Yeah,
you couldn't just release Christine back to her mom.
There's nothing about the charges being dropped yet, too. So we don't know. They may have just bonded out pending an actual trial. We'll see. Someone made this the Freedom Saga.
So right here is the one T-shirt size 3X.
Yeah. This is this is the typical shit you've seen it in movies where someone gets out of jail at the beginning of the movie and they give them all the stuff back that they got.
One broken iPhone, one wallet, receipts from Target for Legos, one necklace. It's good to be reunited again. You're now free to leave, Christine. Whatever you do next is all up to you. I hope you make the right choices.
Stress, sigh.
Yeah, I want to see Christine on video immediately.
It hasn't happened yet, and they've been out for almost 24 hours or over 24 hours now.
I wonder if Janky's family swooped in and pulled Christine out, and now Christine's
Janky's not touching
Janky.
Janky's not touching this with a 100-foot pole. I guarantee you that.
She misses her friend Christine.
No, yeah. Janky did their best to get out of that situation. Once all the focus was on her, she did whatever she could to run away from that.
I wonder if there's any YouTubers that swooped in and offered Christine a place to stay for the content. Can we get Christine on the IP2 IRL RV?
I would think that if that were the case, the content would already be out there. There would have already been a live stream.
Remember when they were all chasing after Andy Dick on the RV?
Yep.
Christine is the new target. Somebody go pick up Christine and offer her Legos and sarsaparilla or whatever she drinks.
Somebody talked to Christine months ago, probably their lawyer, and was like, stop writing these jail letters. Because the jail letters stopped, a lot of the shit stopped that was going on for a little while there. I think somebody talked some sense into Christine and was like, you can't be talking all this stuff.
I heard rumors amongst my little circle of YouTuber friends that Christine was going to get out a couple months ago, and they died down. I think somebody was talking about getting a release for her then. So maybe this is it, because I haven't heard anything pick up since then. It was definitely a silent moment. But there's got to be something that comes, right? There's no way Christine sits in jail for 600 plus days and doesn't do something online. The saga must continue.
Unless that was a condition of their release.
Even then, we'll
see.
People are gonna find Christine at the goddamn Target and put a camera on her, right? There's gonna be sightings.
What if Christine ran into that transphobic guy at Target?
Oh,
the guy that's banned from Target.
Do we forgive Christine for all the sex she did with her mom, all the coerced, possibly non-consensual sex that she had with her mom? Do we forgive her for that if she pummels that Target guy?
I don't think she has it in her.
I don't know. Christine's got some height and some crazy, right? That's the factor, is there's some crazy there. If she tussled with that Target dude, I would buy her a BronyCon ticket.
We saw their fighting style. They got a little chocolate and me. That ain't doing shit to anybody.
Yeah, maybe in prison she learned how to make a shampoo bottle shank. Might be working with some extra Legos.
Yeah, I don't get the I just avoid arguing with Billy about stuff, but I don't think Christine is tall at all. I think Christine's maybe like under.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Do we have it on CWC is only 5'10"? 5'10's a good height.
Anyway, we're gonna move on. Here's one of the main Chris Chan commentators out there, Smokey. He makes a lot of Chris Chan content, so I thought we'd get his take on it really quick here. So here's that.
This one really caught me off guard today. Christian Weston Chandler, or Christine Weston Chandler, as it says on this record here, has been released from jail. Now, we don't know where Chris is, we don't know what Chris is doing, but from that picture up in the top corner, we can tell that Chris has been going through it in jail. He's lost a lot of weight, like a lot of fucking weight. I mean, look at him up there in that picture. It's almost unrecognizable. This isn't going to be a very long video. This isn't going to be me looking in depth on what I think is going to happen.
That's not unrecognizable.
At a later point.
Yeah, not unrecognizable, just noticeably thinner. That's it. Like, Christine had like a big old double chin and a big fat neck, and that's gone now. So, yeah, noticeably thinner.
This is just me letting.
But the prison diet will do that to you, or jail diet.
There is breaking news that Chris Chan is out of jail. Now, I did want to talk about a few things here. It's not every day you wake up and you see some huge Chris news like this. I think the last time this happened was when he actually got caught fucking his mom. Chris was
he didn't get caught. They admitted it to the wrong person. They didn't get. This makes it seem like someone walked in on Chris Chan banging their mom.
In jail for a year and a half, almost. Not almost exactly. Like, you know, it's I think he was arrested July 30th? I believe it was July 30th, maybe one of the first few days of August in 2021, and here we are now. I've been making those Chris jail letter videos where we were always questioning, when is he going to get out? And many people had said, oh, I don't think he ever will get out. And at this point, you know, a year and a half down the line, I think a lot of people really started
saying he would never get out, or Christine would never get out, is stupid. Like, there's
no life sentence. Even if they got convicted of the maximum sentence, they're getting out. There's no life sentence for what they did.
Worst case scenario, they would determine Christine was a risk factor to herself and put her in some sort of mental facility, which maybe is where she's at now. Maybe she got bonded out into a care facility because she can't go home. Like, they can't put her back with Barb, right?
I would hope not.
Really might just be throwing the book at Chris and keeping him there as like,
unless they have enough proof that there was no actual coital interloping between Barb and Christine was just LARPing being a motherfucker.
Now, no matter what happened, all that's said and done now. Maybe Chris's lawyer actually
Yeah, someone in the chat just pointed out how the stripes aren't aligning. Did Christine not know how to button up their jumpsuit?
Yeah, duh.
So the buttons are like off.
Look at the collar. You can see the collar's already off. Of course not. It's my way of doing a little different.
I love how this jail keeps it old school too. Instead of the orange jumpsuit, they're doing the old school stripy suit.
Christine's got a chain with a ball on the end.
Yeah,
medicine ball on it.
Yeah, and when Christine got arrested, they had a bag full of money with a dollar sign on it and like a Hamburglar style mask, like a Zorro mask, basically.
Cookie Crisp.
Cookie Crisp.
I want to see the what was that movie with the guy who played the fourth Batman, George Clooney? Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Can we get an Oh Mother, Where Art Thou with Christine in it?
I hated how the cookie cop had like a stereotypical Irish accent. That's offensive.
Well, the term paddywhack comes from Irish police officers.
I know.
Maybe he got what he wanted done. He got Chris out of there. Who knows what happened here? We will know eventually because Chris obviously will spout his mouth off. But I do think the one question...
I'm really surprised it hasn't happened already because I keep checking their Twitter. I keep checking all of the channels that follow Christine.
I bet you Christine can't remember any of her login passwords. Just can't get into the account.
I don't know.
There's probably right now a new account made by Christine that nobody has figured out is Christine yet because Christine doesn't know how to get into the old accounts.
I feel like someone would still figure that out because the amount of fine-tuned attention certain people give Christine is it's unbelievable.
Dylan DePickle, who knows everything because they consistently comment on everything, says, I think they're still in a room with no access to internet.
Who knows at this point?
Asked, and it's the one thing that most people are going to be wondering is, where does Chris end up? Does a white knight take him in, which is most likely what's going to happen here now? Does he go home? Like that's one that really is a head scratcher.
I
like,
doubt that's happening unless they determine like nothing happened, which I don't see how they could. I don't think they would let. I don't think that's happening
with the woman who he raped like a year and a half ago. It's really
allegedly
weird. Like I said, I can't wait to see as more info comes out about this because as of right now, all we have is this info right here. But I've told y'all for months that when a new letter or something came out, I got y'all on the update, and I mean, shit.
This guy did say White Knight, by the way.
We might be seeing a Chris live stream sooner than we know it. So
let's see.
Like I said, I think what's going to happen with Chris is someone's going to take him in. If he does end up homeless, which I mean he probably already is, because I don't know if he's going back to the house.
If Christine was homeless, there'd be pictures because so many people in their area know are Christorians themselves that they can't go out without being seen. There'd already be a picture.
Would they release Christine with nowhere for Christine to go if there was still
people get out of jail with nowhere to go all the time?
Is that when their time's done served, or like when you have a court date coming up?
They don't provide a place for you to live.
I thought they would just hold you until the court date unless
They're
you have
out.
a place to go. Yeah, I didn't think they would release you if you didn't have an address to go to.
I don't believe so, but I'm not an expert on that at all.
Don't expect him to be homeless for too long. A lot of people have always theorized that the final Chris saga would be the homeless saga, and we'll find out if that's actually the case here. The final thing I wanted to do is just take a look at how different Chris looks in this picture compared to all his other ones. You know, when he first went into
this
jail,
19 pixel picture.
It is actually
One thing
really.
I want to do.
It is actually really low resolution, and I use this picture enhancer to get it like clean enough for the thumbnail. But this is the regular resolution of it stretched out without any enhancements or anything like that.
Chris, he'd always been a bigger guy in his life. Now, we'd seen a more recent picture where Chris had seemed to be losing a little bit of weight.
She was only a bitter guy for a short amount of her life, okay? Her life is going to be a long time. Now
Chris,
she's a bitter woman. Get it right, you sicko. Quit dead sexing Christine.
Smile where he was just thinking about Sonichu and all that shit, not thinking about the serious implications of the situation he's in. But now you see this picture, and it just looks like the life was sucked out of him, man. Now maybe he just had a really horny bunkmate, but I
oh come on, man!
Really think what
come
happened
on,
is it's a year.
No,
and a half.
you don't get to. They feed you enough to keep you relatively healthy. Like, it has nothing to do with anything else. Like, Chris didn't get to overeat in jail. They got to eat as much as they needed to stay alive. That's the truth here.
Was too much for Chris to handle. You know, being away from the Sonichu shit and all that, it was it probably took a massive toll on him. And it makes me wonder, now that he's out of jail, is he just going to jump right back into his delusions full force? Did he learn anything? We all know he didn't learn shit. Like, that's pretty obvious. Like,
this guy sucks, by the way. This guy's trash.
Maybe they learn. Maybe Christine is in a place with internet, and what they learned in jail was restraint. And they know that it's a bad idea to get on the internet.
Or maybe Christine's in a place with brand new mommies.
Learn the goddamn thing. But it's really going to be interesting to see how Chris is after he gets out of jail and what like he's gonna do now. Like I said, as this unfolds, I got y'all on the updates. Ain't no worry about that. But I did want to make this now just to let you know what's going on and what's going on.
Oh, this guy just said let yous know.
Yeah, they probably live like in eastern Pennsylvania or
I would like
New Jersey.
for them to maybe drown on accident.
Why?
I don't like the
you know,
way
who
people
knows?
use
Maybe hear him
use.
Okay.
from him
Use.
sooner rather than later.
Stop it.
As I
Grow
said, I
up.
wouldn't be
Regional
surprised to
dialect.
see
Well,
a
I would
random
rather have a
Christian
conversation
stream.
with
You say
Christine.
stuff wrong all the time.
Not use.
Okay.
Not use. I would rather have a conversation with Christine post rolling off her own mother than let this guy say use to me in a conversation.
The first time I ever heard someone say that, I was in eastern Pennsylvania, and they do it in like New Jersey too.
Boot up from some white knight's house within the next few days. So,
And then in western Pennsylvania, they say yins.
as this whole
Yins?
situation
I would,
progresses,
I would rather
here
deal with a yins situation than use.
I don't really care. either
covering
way.
it. I hope you guys are ready for some.
All right, so I also had a conversation with somebody else who had some strong opinions about this. Here's a screenshot of our DMs. Liquid Chris. I said, Ian is free. I can't wait to hear your take on this. And he said, I shall address this soon. And I said, go out there and zap to the extreme. And he said, I will. Thank you, drunken peasants. So here's Liquid Chris.
Marty kind of stole Cyrax from Liquid Chris. It's good Cyrax or Liquid Chris gets regular Chris back now.
Captain's log. Start dates. March 27th, 2023. Citizens, a quick veil. I have just been given information by a sweet, dear gal pal of mine that a certain individual has been freed from jail. Very interesting. Fear not, true and honest Sonic U fans, as I have many contingency plans for them. Yeah. As for updates on the comics, the new Adventures of Sonic U shall be coming out this year.
Yes, I am actually the gal pal that he spoke of. I am the gal pal.
I'm so very excited that you get to read brand new Sonic U comics. 2023.
I've seen him do live streams where he's in character the whole time, and it's unbelievable how he can just do
It's
this.
the year of Sonic U. I'm so excited I could just blow. I could just blow up. Yeah, blow up.
I could just blow.
This next segment is dedicated towards you, Ian Brandon Anderson.
What the? Was that a stereos?
Remember you, Ian. You were a slanderous imposter troll trying to be me. You killed Billy Mays with your death notes. You kidnapped and tortured me. And worst of all, you tried to rape Casey. What is wrong with you, man?
Casey was the woman they were fighting over. Like, originally she was with Solid Chris, and then Liquid Chris just showed Casey what an alpha Chad and success he was. And he, they were going to get married and move to Redmond, Washington, so that Liquid Chris could start working at Nintendo on the official Sonichu and Rosichu video game. It was amazing.
You should have gone to jail then. And speaking of Casey, Ian, I hope you're happy because of your satanic powers. You got me divorced.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's right. I know all about your satanic powers. How you used them to
What is this? He's like in a womb?
drag me down to hell and reincarnate me as a baby.
So, Chris, I'm guessing this is in a Sonichu comic. They tried to reincarnate him as a baby.
If you try to come after me, my comics, or my fans, I shall rain fire upon you, Ian. This is your one and only warning. Peace.
Peace. Sounds like he's ready for war, not peace. He's ready to go to war. And it's interesting to get like a news or like a news opinion website's take on this. YouTuber Chris Chan reportedly released from jail on bond. Chris Chan has reportedly been released from jail on bond, although the reason why is still unknown. The internet personality and YouTuber, real name Christine Weston Chandler, was arrested on suspicion of incest in 2021. We know this kind of stuff. Let's see if there's an actual update.
Yeah, it's all just same old shit.
Yeah.
I wonder if anything has came up on Twitter around it.
I've been looking, but you know what's funny? At least in my trending on Twitter yesterday, the Chris Chan stuff was listed above the school shooting that happened yesterday. It was trending higher, and I don't just know if that's based on my search history or what.
Probably. It wasn't even trending on mine. Neither was the shooting, though.
Okay.
I've got my Twitter so fucked up, all it ever shows me is magic cards. It's actually not so bad, I think.
Well, yeah, you don't get to...
I don't have to deal with the majority of the real world.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're just tuning in, please like the stream. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Let us know in the chat. If you're watching this after the live, leave your comments below. What do you think is going on here? Because it's very vague. All we know is that Christine got out of jail. That's all we know. We don't know how or why. We don't know if the charges are still being pursued. We don't know where Christine is. Let us know what you think.
What we do know, everybody who has misgendered Christine since her release will be held accountable.
That's not true at all. The majority of Chris Chan commentators don't call Chris Chan a she.
We're coming for all of them. Drunken Peasants will not let that stand.
And obviously, trans people are not a monolith, but I've had trans people come to me in private and be like, I don't accept Chris Chan.
They will be dealt with too. All people who denounce Christine and her choice of gender
Did you guys
will be
hear
dealt with.
CWC broke out of jail?
Out on bail, fresh out of jail.
That was the rumor several months ago. I think it's questionable based on the reasoning Christine herself has given. I just use the pronouns because that's what they want, I guess. I don't really care about being polite to Chris Chan either, but I mean, whatever. It is what it is.
I'm not going to be in the habit of bending towards the shitlords.
I usually just use they when I refer to Chris Chan.
I use her and Majesty.
I know. Majesty?
Her and Majesty.
Oh, God.
They say if you want to become the queen, you got to take down the queen. And in Christine's house, she took down the queen.
So Dylan says it says male. Well, they would still be male either way because they were born.
They were moved into a male prison early on, right?
Right, but also the difference between sex and gender. Christine Weston Chandler will always be a male, whether they get all the surgery and everything, no matter what. Because a male is what your biological, reproductive organs and everything it's different than your gender. Gender is a totally different thing than sex. So Christine is male. Christine is a male that their gender is a woman. Well, yeah. So
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that.
Why?
Because I don't understand any of it.
I know, because we've been over this before.
We haven't, no.
Yes, we have.
I refuse to listen to science when it comes to people's feelings. I'm here for the feelings.
The feelings?
I got a feeling.
Yeah, sex is physiology, gender is psychology. Everyone, give the stream a like and let us know what your opinion is. And I was hoping Liquid Chris would kind of dig into it a little harder, but I think maybe they're saving it for when we know when we know what exactly is going on with Chris Chan.
Everybody's just spinning their tires right now.
Yeah, because there's hardly any information. The only information that we know for sure is that they're out.
Everybody wants to speculate. I'm the only one bringing real crazy shit to the table. Everybody's just like, well, this is probably my opinion. And I'm like, no, fuck that. Christine's in a halfway RV house, sucking off new moms, sucking their sausage nipples, drinking big old milk tank Pokemon tits. Let's go. That's what we know to be true, is that nobody knows shit. So if they're going to make up their boring ass shit, I'm going to make up some excellent next level crazy shit. Let's go.
I'm just like, I can speculate all I want, but I'm not a legal expert, and I have no idea what's going on right now other than the fact they got out. This is a funny, short video that I think all of you will enjoy, and a lot of you probably missed it. There's this streamer. I think he was on Twitch. I think he does like Rumble now or whatever. His name's Aiden Ross. He's a Jewish guy, but he hangs out with like Nick Fuentes and all, and wants to be like part of Kanye running for president. And someone tricked him into showing a photo. We'll explain what the photo is. I want to play the clip first.
He'll explain what the photo is.
Okay, yes. All right. Just watch his reaction. Okay? Here he is. And by the way, I've seen him like argue. Oh, see? So this picture that's censored came up. Obviously, it wasn't.
It was a trap. They tricked him.
Look at him.
I'm not even joking, bro. That shit is just too far, bro.
What this clip didn't, like, this clip censored out the actual photo because it wasn't censored on his live stream.
Of course.
And they also cut about 15 seconds of him staring at the photo. He stared for like 15, 20 seconds uninterrupted in the original stream. And then this goes to his response after staring at this photo for about 20 seconds.
It's funny because Aiden is buddies with Sneeko, and they both are like underlings for Nick Fuentes, and Nick Fuentes hates both of them because he doesn't like Jews. Aiden's a Jew. And then Sneeko is mixed race, and if Nick Fuentes had his way, nobody would be mixing races. So it's ironic. They're like those Catholic monks that like torture themselves. They're so like into an ideology, they like it's against their
Sneeko
own
and Aiden
self-interest.
Ross are more underneath Andrew Tate than
Andrew Tate's in
Fuentes.
jail though.
Yeah, they're more of the Andrew Tate followers though.
I'm pretty sure Sneeko started out as a Keemstar guy originally. I saw some really old footage from years ago where Sneeko looks really young in it, maybe even like 17 or 18. And Keemstar had like hired him to do some work for him, but it sucked. So he like fired him like in a live stream.
That's funny.
Yeah. Willie Mack Show has made like 3 or 4 really good Sneeko videos.
Oh, shit, I saw that shit.
Sneeko is so dumb. I can't believe how guys that are this dumb have such big followings, but
people who follow people are dumb.
Way too fucking far, bro.
That's why we have such a small
Y'all
audience.
literally just went too fucking far with that one, bro. That's not even funny, bro. Y'all just literally showed me my naked sister with nut on her back, bro. That shit is too far.
So that's what the picture was.
And he says it's too far, but he stared at it for 20 seconds. And then he explained the picture. He explained it in great detail. He didn't just say an inappropriate photograph of my sister. He said my naked sister with nut on her back.
Yeah, it is kind of like, I don't have a sister, but if someone sent me a picture like my mom like that or something like that, it would not be on the screen.
He's seen it before. I don't know if he does this as a bit, but there was one time he had his Discord open, and I think his editor or something showed his Discord off on the stream, and he had a sexy picture of his sister up there. And then he responded to streamer Kai Cenat. Kai Cenat was saying that he was Aiden Ross's sister was hot, and Aiden Ross said, "Yeah, I think she's hot too. I already jerked off to her OnlyFans." He said it, I assume jokingly, but you never know. You never know. He probably wants to smash his sister.
Let's see. Okay, let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I am joking, bro.
Obviously,
this is an edited version.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
the original version with her naked with the nut on her back. He stares for like 20 seconds. He's like,
and this
just
is on
looking
like
at it.
Kick, right, or something like that.
Yeah, I think you're allowed on Kick to have a little nut on your sister's back. I don't know.
There's a ton of e-girls doing like straight up like solo porn.
Oh, really?
I mean, pretty close to it. Like it goes way farther than they allow it on Twitch.
I'm about to go start spunking peasants over on Kick, watching only porn.
That shit is way too fucking far, bro. Y'all literally just went too fucking far with that.
Sicko. Cobra would not approve.
Cobra would not.
Fuck
He broke
sickos,
one of the five, the Forbidden Five.
Related, yeah. Wanted to check out some of this testimony because, like, Gwyneth Paltrow's back in court with some guy suing her.
Yeah, she got in a skiing accident.
Yeah, and he claims she, like, injured him.
He's suing her over the skiing accident.
Yeah. She's countersuing for $1.
Ooh.
Is that what?
This is the guy that's suing her. He is an older guy, but I feel like if Gwyneth Paltrow ran into me, she would be more hurt than I would. She looks like a very small, thin woman who's like in her 50s. I don't think, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she's just like more dense than she looks.
Here?
Absolutely, yes.
The countersue for $1. Does she think she's on The Price is Right?
$1, Bob.
We're going to cut to the chase on a lot of things because I made counsel a promise that I would have you in less than an hour. Wow. And so I'm going to be true to my word here. It's 10 o'clock. We'll be done before 11. Okay? I want to talk about skiing. Tell the jury about your ski experience. What type of skier were you?
At that time, or do you want some background?
We don't need a whole lot of background.
At that time?
I heard a bunch of, I haven't watched this all the way through, but I saw people reviewing it live, and some of them were like, he lied. So I'm waiting for the moment where it seems obvious that he lies here.
In 2016, what type of skier were you?
I was advanced intermediate. There was no places I would go except serious bumps, narrow little gulches, and I didn't do any big jumps. So other than that, I would go just about anywhere.
Okay. How often would you ski?
2 to 3 times per week.
Okay. For how many years?
Seth says he's Colonel Sanders. You know, if he had like the bolo tie, it would be like dead on.
Like if Pee Wee Herman and Colonel Sanders merged together.
It's
dimensional merge.
Well, that's a bow tie. Colonel Sanders had like the bolo tie, which is like a tied, like
yeah.
It's not a bow tie.
Well, I started 37 years ago. It was a winter sport for my family. We lived at high elevation.
Okay. And in all of your years, other than the ski collision with Miss Paltrow, have you ever been in another ski accident?
Never.
Have you ever skied with the ski patrol?
As a matter of fact, I had the good fortune. I learned to ski.
These are leading questions. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, so and they're not objecting, so whatever, but it just sounds like, oh, and you also learn how to ski with people who really know what they're doing,
From
right?
A family that owned a ski resort. They were relation. And they would come out to Snowbird.
They were relation?
They were, I think, it was a whole family-run operation.
Why is everybody breaking the Forbidden Five family rule today?
They were ski patrollers and they were instructors, and I had the very best of company every winter for
non-related, non-skiing.
And then I had the good fortune of having a Lions Club friend, Scott, who's still a dear friend, that lives up in Spokane, and he was a ski patroller.
Oh, is he from Washington?
Terry, come
I don't know.
Me, on this weekend, and I said, I'll slow you down.
Maybe they were skiing in Idaho.
Just follow me.
Maybe
a lot of celebrities go to Idaho for the snow.
And I had the good fortune of spending a lot of time with Scott and seeing and observing what ski patrols do and how they calm people down and reassure them they're going to be okay. So I really appreciated that and experience.
So it sounds like you've skied at Snowbird, skied at Targhee. Had you ever skied at Deer Valley on the day of the collision?
Deer Valley.
No.
That was your first time ever skiing at Deer Valley?
It was.
Okay.
It's in Utah.
Let's talk about that day. Couple of preliminary things. I asked Miss Paltrow on Friday how tall she was. How tall are you?
I think I'm now 5'5".
Oh, he's good. He lost a couple inches because he was injured by Gwyneth Paltrow.
He's just having a bad spine day.
And what was your weight at the time of the collision?
Well, in the VA, you don't take anything off. Whatever you walk in with, your coats, heavy coats in wintertime, boots, wallets.
I give that excuse to when I go to the doctor. How much did you weigh about?
You could tell this is his lawyer.
Undressed, probably 63, 62 pounds, 163, 162.
Okay, all right. So the jury's heard about meetup groups. What is a meetup group?
A meetup group was just a lifesaver for me, being new to this area. Hard to accumulate friends.
I'm learning so much about skiing right now.
Yeah,
that
meetup
I
group.
don't need to fucking know. Fuck your meetup group.
So when a fellow that I was on a hike with, a new fellow, said, "Have you heard of meetup?" And I hadn't. So he says,
There was, like where I grew up, there was nowhere to ski that wasn't like hours and hours and hours away from me. There was like nowhere to ski. There were small hills that you could sled down. Nothing skiable, though.
I used to go
So I've
inner
never
tubing.
skied. I've never actually skied.
I would not ski. I would go down on a big fucking inner tube in the snow.
Yeah.
That was it.
"Look it up and sign up." And I did. And it was a wonderful organization of groups of people where you had a shared interest, whether it was dancing or concerts or skiing.
Or gay sex.
And so I signed up
I think
and joined
that's
some
it.
groups, and it was
The
really
gay sex meetup
life
group.
changer.
Okay.
They
So my
exist.
understanding is the day of this ski collision, you were with kind of a group of people in the meetup group. Is that fair?
That's right.
All right. Did the group have a plan? I mean, were you the organizer of that meetup group that day?
No, I was not. I'd asked Kurt to take that over because I planned on being gone that day, and Kirk organized that.
Okay. It sounds like obviously you weren't gone that day. You ended up being able to make it.
All right, so I'm going to get through this softball part here.
Yeah. I don't need to know the intricacies of his social
All
life.
right, here we go. Here's the cross-examination here. Whoa, that was great.
Yeah, we got to see what he was saying there with the bear attack. I guess there was a bear that attacked him, according to that still there.
Been around, and the crowd's about the same as me, and speed-wise, and
So did you pay attention to the sign?
I did, and I backed off of whatever I was doing.
This is where he said what happened, I'm guessing.
And then another big sign, like 10 feet away, the same 4x8 sheet up there, big letters. Well, they're serious. Must be lots of merging trails down here. So I just backed off, and again, the skiers were on my left. We were all about the same speed, and I could see down where the edge of the run went. It curved around, a tree line came out a little bit, and the run curled around, and I could see about half of the, I don't know if it's a Montage or the Empire, could about half of that beautiful building, and it was wide open. There was nothing in front of me. And so
Is this guy just lonely
came
and
around that corner,
had nothing but better to do but sue Gwyneth Paltrow?
I mean, he probably bumped into her while skiing and was like, oh shit, that's a super rich lady. I'm going to pretend like I'm her. But who knows?
It takes my breath away to think this is hard, because I don't like going through this scene.
Take my breath away.
I just remember everything was great, and then I heard something I've never heard at a ski resort, and that was a blood-curdling scream. Just, I can't do it. It was, and then...
That's it.
Boom. And it was like somebody was out of control and gonna hit a tree and was gonna die. And that's what I had until I was hit.
That's what was going on in your mind.
Overruled?
He's
That's what's
objective.
going on in your mind when you hear that scream.
That was instantaneous. Oh my gosh, somebody's out of control. And they're really seriously out of control. Not time for a hockey stop. I didn't go think about that, but most people could avoid that, I think. Good skiers.
Okay. And I'll move on.
Okay.
So you
I think he overruled.
I like how her lawyer's the the only one wearing a mask.
Thank you. So
Real
you hear
heroes
this
wear
scream.
masks.
Yes.
What happens next?
The fuck is he
You
shoving
know,
up his nose?
I got hit.
He probably
in
has
my
allergies
back
or something.
So hard, and I'm right at my shoulder blades, and it felt like, and was perfectly centered, and the fists and the poles were right there at the bottom of my shoulder blades.
Sorry.
Serious smack. Never been hit that hard, and I'm flying.
You're 5'5".
Absolutely flying.
Nobody needs to hit you
you're
on
not
purpose.
airborne.
Well, all I saw was a whole lot of snow, and I didn't see the sky, but I was flying in that sense. I had no control. And I remember just thinking, okay, you really got to hang on. And then I thought about the crowd on the left, and I thought, I don't know who's wanted over there, and I do not want to get them mixed up in here. And I've heard, that maybe that's
all right. I'm gonna
not decided about.
I'm gonna do something really quick here. I'm gonna pull up the actual cross-examination. Let's see here. So this is where he gets cross-examined by Gwyneth Paltrow's attorney right here.
I wrote I'm famous because it's cool that I had a collision with a celebrity. Was that your thinking at the time? And you said yes. Do you deny it?
Not if you have it on record, no. I don't deny it. I don't remember.
I deny it if you didn't have it on record.
If you don't have it on record, yeah, of course I deny it. But if you have proof of me saying that, I'm not going to deny it because you have proof.
Well, let's go to page 15.
Can we just end it right now? Can we this guy said, not if you have it on record.
Wow.
What the fuck is this sleazeball doing?
In court.
Published,
this guy bought all those goop vagina candles Gwyneth Paltrow was selling. He's a super stalker. He bent over ass first, hoping she'd catch him right in the fucking tuchus with one of his ski prongs.
Your Honor, he said he doesn't deny it, so why are we publishing?
Because he earlier denied it.
Oof.
I'll overrule the objection and permit that portion of the deposition to be published.
May I ask when this happened?
Sure. Like 1 hour ago, 2 hours ago, you told this jury, I've never thought it was cool that I had a collision with a celebrity. Do you recall that?
Yes, I guess I did say that, absolutely.
And that's not a true statement, is it?
Well, I lie all the time.
It's hard to keep them straight.
I never thought it was cool. I was lying when I said I thought it was cool.
You have said this in your deposition, true?
Honestly, I don't ever remember saying it.
Bring it up,
but
Look, I'm 5'5". I'm a frail old man. I'm bored. I sit at home. I pet my dogs until they get little red rockets. I don't know what to do with my life.
He also tried to diminish his listed weight by being like, well, it was at the VA and they just make me wear like my coat and my army boots and everything.
I don't doubt you. I misspeak a lot.
He admitted on the stand that he misspeaks a lot.
Oh,
How can
no.
any of his testimony be trusted?
Poor guy. Now I feel bad for him.
Okay, this is page 15, line 5 through 8. So the words I'm famous, this is my question, seem to say I think it's cool that I had a collision with a celebrity. Was that your thinking at the time? And your answer was yes. I guess, yes. Now let's go to your weight. You testified today.
This is why he was talking about the weight and making excuses about it, because he's trying to say he was too small. Like he couldn't have possibly done he's too small and frail. So Gwyneth Paltrow hurt him while skiing.
That you were 163 and 5'5". True?
Yes, I did.
And do you agree that at your deposition you told me you were 175 to 180 and 5'8"? Yes or no?
Wait.
He fucking dude.
This man.
He did a deposition and then he did testimony and it's conflicting. Wow, dude.
This man lied down with his height.
Yeah, to make
he can't
it
be trusted.
Well, he's trying to make it seem like was small and vulnerable, so that to explain why a woman.
No real man would do that.
Yes
He's
or
a
no?
sicko.
A qualified yes.
No, I don't want to qualify. Did you
answer
tell
this.
me that?
It's gotta
Like
be
I
mine.
said, how much do you weigh? And you said 175/80. How much did you weigh? And then you said 5'8". How high are you? How tall are you?
How high are you?
3 inches different, right?
I just found that out. I didn't realize. I've had
Sir,
people telling me that.
You
honestly.
told this jury.
He also said right now 5'5". He like made it seem like it was her fault that he lost 3 inches in height.
If he uses the bad spine day defense, I'll allow it.
At the time of the accident, you were 163 and 5'5". Did you not, like 2 hours ago?
I did, yes. Yes.
But you told me in your deposition years ago that you were 170 to 180 and 5'8". True?
How many years ago did we do this?
3 years ago.
I've lost a lot of weight. I'm down to.
You don't lose height that easily. You can lose weight.
I use your weight.
You know we're interested not now in your weight today. We're interested in your weight on the day.
Thank you. Knew where that was
Do you
going.
agree
Thank
were
you.
5'8"?
Thank you.
Yes.
Have you shrunk 3 inches?
I couldn't believe it either. I wanted to argue because I think I'm 5'8" yet.
I couldn't believe it either.
Degenerative back disease and those discs are getting squeezed. Is that why?
I have to say yes. I've always been.
I actually do have degenerative disc disease in my neck. It's terrible.
5'8".
The soft tissue between some of my vertebrates is gone.
Half, and I knew I shrunk a half an inch, but 3. Wow.
Mr. Sanderson, we're trying in council, let's not speak on top of one another so
Thank
that
you.
we have a clear, clean record.
You're right. Yes, Your Honor.
When we talked about you being unconscious, and do you agree that someone who's unconscious doesn't have a stopwatch to figure out how long they were actually unconscious?
I agree. That's true.
Everything you've learned was from Craig after the collision.
No.
Yeah, that's over vague, and I'll withdraw it because I agree that's
Not
overbroad.
everything. It's not everything. Sorry.
Right. As far as level of length of unconsciousness, do you agree that you weren't stopwatching yourself?
I have no idea.
Yeah, and yet you did tell.
Yeah, if you were truly unconscious, you'd have no idea how long you were unconscious unless someone else told you. You wouldn't remember. It could have been 2 minutes or 2 hours. There's no way to know because you're unconscious.
You look at your watch right before you get knocked out, and then check it right when you come back. You're like, well, fuck, I was out for 7 minutes.
Then 5 minutes, then 10 minutes. You did that, right? Do you disagree?
Yes, it did vary.
I do disagree unless you have proof that I.
Yeah, man, he's getting picked apart.
And
Well, the other one was so soft. The one was like, "Tell us all about your history skiing.
Yep.
Did you go with friends? Did you like Friends? Wonderful." This guy's like, "You're a fucking idiot and a liar."
Would your new friends like to come over for some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?
We cut the crust off.
You do that. Why would you say, I don't know, then it's a few seconds, then it's 5 minutes, and then you told your psychiatrist at the VA it was up to 10 minutes long? Why did you change?
I had no idea, and I was searching. I really had no idea, and I was trying to answer. I sometimes make that mistake at guessing, but I really didn't know.
And it was to try to get the attention of the doctor. Do you remember telling me that?
I don't.
Why did he say all this dumb shit in his deposition?
I don't.
Was he drunk?
I don't know how to.
Let's find it.
Let's find it. So I told the doctor I just got smacked one by Gwyneth Paltrow. On the way down, I copped a feel.
Let's go to page 95.
Which deposition? 1, 2, or 3?
1.
1, 2, or
they're all
3.
Cumulative, so the page will tell you that. Page 95, starting at.
Someone said the bald guy in the background's dressed too nice. He is styling. How can you hate on that? He's got a nicer suit than the lawyers who are getting paid to be there.
Who's this Danny Aiello fucking Baldwin cousin
With the
knucklehead
red tie?
Yeah.
He's got the like Baldwin facial features and hair.
I feel like he's just showing up there to break somebody's legs.
Line 7. When you first tell your healthcare providers a few seconds, and then later it turned into 5 minutes, and then later it turned into 10 minutes, do you know that you gave varying answers to people? And then whenever you can pull it up, page 95.
I like how there's a hidden ugly bald guy directly behind the lawyer here that we can barely see. He's sitting like right next to the hot bald guy. They really chose the camera angle here. The poor schlub stuck behind this lawyer, not an attractive bald. We got frickin' dollar store Jason Statham over here.
Right.
And then we have Bob Haskins. I don't know.
The witness says, and then can we go to the middle paragraph? Yes, I do. And that was referencing the fact I personally did not know.
I love how he's on the stand being cross-examined. He gives an answer, and they're like, you didn't say that in your deposition. And they just bring up exactly what he said, and he's all like, how did he not prepare for this?
Gwyneth Paltrow about to get that $1.
I love it because, like, his lawyer had to have known about this. Like, his lawyer had to have read the deposition and everything. It's fucked up because, like, you have to pay a lawyer whether you win or lose a case. So, like, your lawyer could be completely incompetent and fuck everything up, and they're still walking out of there with, you know, a 6-figure payoff, and you're fucked. And usually when you sue someone and you lose, you have to pay their legal fees. You have to pay their lawyer, too.
Yeah, but this guy's probably got bastard kids. The money's going to go to them anyways. So he's just like, whatever, let's waste my fortune on suing Gwyneth Paltrow. Be the coolest thing I've ever done in my life.
I was not a witness to how long I was unconscious. And so somebody told me it was 2 seconds, and somebody said it was 10 seconds, 10 minutes. And so I didn't know. It was hard for me to say.
There's a big difference between 10 seconds and 10 minutes. Being unconscious for 10 minutes is a big problem.
It said 2 seconds there, right? 2 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, it went from 2 seconds to 10 seconds to 10 minutes.
10 minutes is like, you should go to the hospital and stay there overnight for observation. You are knocked out. Because even like pro boxers and UFC fighters, when they get knocked out, it usually lasts like 30 seconds at the most.
Yeah.
And that's like someone kicking you in the head as hard as they can. So 10 minutes, something's wrong. Like you have a concussion at the least.
I nut tapped a kid in high school, and he was out for like 30 minutes. I felt so bad. He had a twitch for like 6 months afterwards. He probably should have gone to the hospital.
And then next paragraph. It depends on my visit. If I want to make a deal out of it, and that was the reason for my visit, then I might say for 10 minutes. I might pick the worst. That's kind of how we are. We go to the doctor's
Pixelbat says he's only suing for $300,000. She's worth hundreds of millions. $300,000 is nothing to her. The fact that she didn't settle says a lot. She's innocent.
That should not be a barometer, whether or not someone settles or not, whether or not they're innocent.
The idea that she's countersuing for $1.
I don't think that means she's more. It just seems like this guy's full of shit. Like we can't like look at the legal system and be like, oh, since they didn't settle, they're more likely innocent than they're not.
I think if you look at the wealth and time that she has, for her to go through this, she's trying to make a point, right?
Well, she's
the
clearing
$1
her
is
name.
making a point.
Yeah.
We go to get the doctor's attention about a specific thing. And it wasn't at that point how long I was unconscious was not a point of relevance for me. That's your testimony, correct?
I'm getting confused by those statements, so...
Yes or no?
Yes, it is.
By the way, when we took your deposition, there's a lot of formality.
You smelled like vodka.
You were placed under oath, just like the one you were put on today. Yeah. And your counsel's present, and you were able to talk to them before. Yes.
And I think I had 11 hours or so of deposition.
I can't really hear you, sir, but
his lawyer pressed Gwyneth super hard about Taylor Swift, because I guess Taylor Swift sued someone for $1 out of principle too. And and his lawyer kept trying to be like, so you did that because Taylor Swift said, because Taylor Swift did it, right? And she's like, no, had no idea she did that until you told me. And then she was like, do you know Taylor Swift? She's like, no.
Do you have the Gwyneth testimony of all this?
I'll find it.
Because her testimony is way better than this when she's talking about getting hit.
Grilled.
My question is, you had your advice of your counsel there.
Yes.
And I asked at the beginning of the deposition, is there any reason why you can't give me your best testimony today? And you said no, correct?
Yes.
And I even told you, I think, that if you testify differently at your deposition than you would in front of this jury, I would call it to their attention. Do you recall this?
Yes.
And you took an oath, and you then had the opportunity to make any changes to your deposition transcript. Is that true?
Yes.
And did you?
No, I don't remember making any changes. I think I made 2 with you. I said 2 corrections and that I remembered.
Okay. You didn't make some, and counsel told you let's not submit those.
I haven't looked at these depositions at all. Not at all.
Do you dispute that? Well, I heard you call Eric Christensen, a Deer Valley instructor for 40 years, a bully. Did you say that?
I did say that, yes.
And that he was yelling at your face.
Yes. I figured out. I didn't actually know that until.
And we'll meet him at 1 o'clock.
He'll be here at 1.
He'll be here to say that he didn't yell at you.
Where you called him a bully.
Deer Valley's known, or at least puts itself out there, doesn't it, as like the most customer friendly they could possibly be. Do you agree?
I agree.
That's what's up, Boglum Chronicles. Alive.
Were your skis on or off at the end of the collision? Do you know?
Absolutely. They were
You know,
on.
honestly, in the back of my mind, I was hoping that when I hung out with Cobes in that live stream, that Boglum Chronicles was going to cut it up and make like a.
You wanted him
to
celebrity.
I wanted
Fucking
a Boglum
clout chaser.
I am
fucking clout chaser.
I wanted
Ben.
a Boglum Chronicles of me talking to Cobes, but it never happened.
Maybe you should go break into Cobes' house. Get yourself a Boglum Chronicles cut.
So you do remember some things after.
Yes.
Okay. And Craig,
We really just want a cut of Cool Taste calling Ben Billy the Fridge.
He did.
That's all we need.
But then after we went off the air, he was like, "I know who you are, but I was just messing with you."
Conveniently off air, huh?
For several statements, right?
Several, yes.
It was more than just like, I don't want to make my daughters uncomfortable. You haven't been here for many.
I didn't.
Yeah. And Sam Goldstein said part of the reason is you don't take criticism well. Do you agree with that statement?
He's mad about that. He's mad about being told he doesn't take criticism well.
I always want to be a better person, and I thought I even tell my kids, if I'm doing something wrong, tell me. I want to be better.
I even tell my kids. He's like, I tell my kids, if I'm saying the wrong slur to refer to the colors, let me know. I want to be better. This fucking guy.
Mr. Sanderson does not take criticism well.
Hard for me to measure that. I've not been around other humans.
This happened in Park City, Utah.
So it's hard for me to measure.
What if this guy's a Mormon?
No, he said he just moved to the area and he was joining meetup groups to meet people.
Do you agree that when Whitney came with the toboggan, she asked you what happened, and you said, I don't know? Do you agree with that statement?
If that's on the record, I don't disagree with it. I don't remember that particular part of our interaction. I just remember she said something to me, and
It's the first question, right?
Teddy is asking,
Ski
what the hell is
patroller comes
Gwyneth
up.
doing in Utah? Park City,
Skiing?
Utah is huge film city. Huge. Sundance. It's huge.
By the way, you've hurt yourself before skiing, true?
Never needing help, right?
Before this incident, though.
Yeah, because when his lawyer was asking him if he had ever had a ski accident before, he said no, and now it's going to come out he had been hurt skiing before.
I had when I first learned to ski that first year.
All right.
Beaver.
So you don't dispute that the first thing Whitney asked you was like, "How are you?" And what happened? Do you agree those are like the first two questions?
I have no recollection of those questions. I don't. I would think she would reach out to me, but I don't.
Did you ever complain to Deer Valley about Eric Christensen, like I was treated like a bully?
I had a lot of time to think about it.
Yes or no?
I don't know if I did. I think when I contacted Deer Valley, I was just after I wanted to find out who hit me, and I wanted to copy the records, and I didn't bring it up.
Yeah, you never once wrote to Deer Valley like, "Hey, your ski instructor is a total SOB to me. He treated me poorly."
That's correct. I didn't bring it up because I did not want to cause some anger from them. I wanted to copy and find out who hit me.
But 7 years later, you're here saying he was terrible to me, just terrible. Ramon,
Is it just me,
Craig Ramon,
or does the guy suing Gwyneth look like Richard Schiff?
I don't know who that is. Who's Richard Schiff? Do you know who that is?
No idea. Egghead.
I don't know who that is.
Egghead. Are these spoilers? Did Richard Schiff
Yeah,
debut
no more
on Monday Night
spoilers,
Raw tonight?
Egghead.
Is that what this is? Spoiler.
Ramon said words to the effect that Christensen said to Ramon, "Your buddy took out Gwyneth Paltrow." Did you hear those words?
I did.
You personally heard them with your...
I'm going to
So
pull
now
up
I wanna
a
be clear,
picture
'cause
of
I'm not-
David Schiff. I don't see it.
You mean Richard Schiff?
Or is it Richard? Oh, I'm sorry, Richard.
I also don't see it, by the way. Like, I guess you could kind of say they have gray beards.
And they're balding, and they have, like, I don't know.
Confuse you. Did you hear him when you were on the ski slope?
Looks more like Taylor Schiff.
Okay. And Ramon did not do anything to try to set the record straight at that point. Do you know anything about that?
About who hit me?
Correct.
When we got down into
That guy's not even balding. Like, he's got a little bit of a thing up there. This is not a Richard Schiff situation.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. This guy has a full head of hair. Actually,
Egghead's just like, he's old and has facial hair and glasses. Egghead, I know what it is. You have facial blindness, don't you?
He does. He does.
You suffer.
Point.
It's okay.
What's my question? On the mountain.
Yeah, on the mountain, but in the shed. I was.
Okay. You said your skis were on after the collision. Do you recall your head being downhill or uphill?
Absolutely downhill.
Egghead sees two babies. He was like, this baby reminds me of this other baby.
They're both small.
Is it just me, or does this baby look like this other baby? Yes,
So
all
several
babies look the
witnesses
same.
say the
All
opposite,
old
and
men
you
look the
disagree?
same.
I disagree absolutely because I couldn't get up.
And where was Gwyneth's head when she came to arrest? Head down, head up.
I have no idea. As far as I know, she didn't exist.
Because you didn't see anything.
I was out. I had no idea. Everything else is what I heard.
Did you tell Eric Christensen, according to his report, that she appeared right in front of me? Yes or no?
No.
So he just made that up?
Must have.
Deer Valley just falsified a record. Is that your opinion?
I never would have said that. I knew where it came from.
You know you sued Deer Valley in this claim, true?
Yes.
Sustained.
The objection got sustained.
Damn.
And we're not dealing with any of that today. True? We're not dealing with
Objection, relevance, move to strike.
Sustained. The question is stricken and the jury should disregard.
So, Your Honor, I just want to be able to ask if you're willing, you're not suing Deer Valley today?
Your Honor, objection, third objection now. Move to strike again.
Sustained, stricken, disregard, please.
Yeah, he needs to move to a different question.
I hear you saying you were flying through the air after she hit you. Did you say those words? Yes
Today?
Or, yes or no?
Today?
Today.
Today I did.
Today I did. 2 years ago I said I wasn't, but today I did.
With regard to relationships prior, you had 2 divorces, true?
I did, yes.
Oh,
And
God.
then, was it about 10 years of just dating various different other women?
I guess I wouldn't know exactly. Wouldn't be unreasonable, maybe.
Well, I'm just saying if the incident occurred in 2016, when was your second divorce? About
30
10 years
30
earlier?
years ago. I'm thinking 30 years ago, I'm thinking.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, it's nice that Carlene, you had found a nice partner, but you were not engaged. Is that true?
We were not.
And
That's
she
what we
was
had.
actually living hundreds of miles away from you?
We went back and forth. It's 3 hours, 4 hours maybe, the most.
A couple 100 miles, I think, isn't it?
I don't know.
St. George. We'll move on.
Yeah, why? Yeah, that's kind of weird questioning. Like, why does that matter?
He's over here digging fucking snot out of his nose. So,
He's got that springtime allergy going on.
20 years ago, you were just dating this broad, right? You weren't married? Just sneaking boogies out of his nose?
Do you recall saying that you agreed that saying I'm famous was a crazy thing to say? Agree?
Absolutely, it's not me. I don't buy into that.
But it was you, right? Just to be clear. When you say it wasn't me, it was in fact you.
It's the other personality.
Oh my God, no! No, he's gonna claim he has more than one personality.
The thing is,
no, this is such
the Slim
bullshit.
Shady. I'm the real Slim Shady. These other Slim Shadys are just imitating.
What?
And the real Slim Shady will stand up.
I cannot
He'll
believe
stand up.
anyone
Will stand up.
like anyone who claims like when they do something that's not really them, it's another personality. Almost 100% of the time, that's bullshit.
In a rare turn of events, the other personality is in fact Richard Schiff. Egghead was right. I didn't know that.
Hashtag Egghead was right.
It's inhabiting my body right now.
And you blame Gwyneth Paltrow for that.
Hold on. What?
Yes.
Hold on.
Gwyneth hit me so hard.
It created
she split
another-
me into an ulterior being who's a monster, I'll tell you.
Who's 5'4"?
He's the 5'5" guy. I'm the 5'8" guy.
Dude, I did not expect that at all.
Do you recall having a kind of a stroke event like 10 years or so before the incident?
Yeah, but that diagnosis has been changed.
But it's an ischemic retinal occlusion?
Probably due to a migraine.
And you lost your right eye in that?
I lost some vision in that eye, yes.
And that was one of the reasons you retired?
One of many. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In terms of your anger, do you agree you sought therapy for anger management about 10 years ago?
I don't.
Or 15 years ago? I guess 06, about the time of your second divorce.
I like how it's been established that he had some kind of event where it fucked up his eyesight, because that's also another strike against his recollection of what happened.
Because if you deny it, we're going to pull it up.
I don't remember that purpose, but yes, okay. Was I seeing a shrink or?
So you can't ask me questions, unfortunately.
Sorry, thank you.
Oh, I'm trying to.
Unfortunately,
have you say
this
yes-
is my job to ask you questions.
Yes or no, and
Sorry.
then we go to documents if we need to. So do you agree that you were seeing a therapist at the VA for anger management about 10 years even before the incident?
Only, I honestly don't remember it, but if you say so, I believe you.
Yeah, I can't testify. So if you dispute it, then we go to the record.
I don't look at these records. I have it, 5,000 pages.
So you don't dispute it?
I don't.
Okay. And
all right, I have one really quick one that's interesting because I saw this clip and kind of had a chuckle over it because I don't know why his lawyer is so focused on her knowing or being friends with Taylor Swift. If she was just like fangirling or something, maybe she's a big Taylor Swift fan. But yeah, check this out.
The reason I got involved in this case in the first place was your counterclaim. So I want to talk with you about the counterclaim.
She got involved in the case because of the $1 counterclaim. Why? Why does that mean you got involved in it?
Is it true that you feel it's unfair that Mr. Sanderson has brought this case against you?
I do.
Okay. And he has deterred you from enjoying the rest of what was a very expensive vacation?
Well, I lost half a day of skiing.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. And I think that's what your counsel has argued as well, that you you had a full day pass.
So according to what I'm seeing, if that guy is in fact 5'8", like he originally said, him and Gwyneth Paltrow are like around the same height.
And he's obviously going to have more of a book.
Could they just be like, all right, can you step down and we're going to measure you right now and see how tall you really are? I wish they could do that. Like instead of being like, is he 5'5" or 5'8", we should be able to know pretty easily. We'll just measure him and see if he's because it's such a big difference that you'd be able to tell one way or another, unless he was like dead center of those two.
But you can only ski a half a day.
Yes, I went back down after lunch.
Okay, right. And that's when you had lunch and you got a massage?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you get a happy
didn't
ending?
Get your knee checked out, didn't have any kind of medical attention?
No, it didn't feel acute in any way. It felt just like I had overstretched my knee and I had sustained a blow, but it didn't feel like it needed medical attention.
Okay. And you're bringing this claim for $1.
I am.
Okay. In fact,
Yeah,
your
like-
counsel, do you still have that
like-
dollar bill?
If she had actually gotten injured bad enough, she could have sued him for all the medical bills, the pain and suffering, and all the work that a Hollywood actress would have missed while she was injured, which is craziness. So he's lucky, honestly. She is kind of being merciful on him.
He'll just pay for like her lawyer fees and the $1 if she wins.
Yeah. Which the lawyer fees are going to be a lot because he's paying his own lawyer too. He's paying double lawyer fees if he loses.
Yeah.
That
I'll let you use your own.
I'm not going to even respond to that. I don't need it.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't need it. You saw Mr. Owens wave that $1 around, right?
I did.
Okay. $1 in symbolic damages. Is that accurate?
It's an actual dollar that I'm asking for.
Okay, but you also testified when I asked you questions in your deposition that $1 is symbolic. Do you remember me asking you about
It's symbolic because the damages would actually be more.
Okay. But remember me asking you, is it symbolic? And you said, yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay. And I asked you as well, you learned about that through Taylor Swift because she asked for $1 in symbolic
I just
damages,
wonder
right?
why is this relevant? Relevant at all? Like, what does Taylor Swift have to do with any of this? Is she just like asking questions she like has always wanted to ask? Or something?
Maybe she's saying that Gwyneth is just trying to clout chase
Gwyneth
Taylor.
Paltrow doesn't need to clout chase a musician that's much younger than her.
Yeah, I would think not. Well, I mean, someone who's much younger than her could have more popularity and clout. So,
but it's so different. I don't think she really cares. They're so different, like what they've done, like their accomplishments and everything. They're just different.
Taylor Swift has more of a favor with the fan base right now. So
right now, she's more contemporary.
So the lawyer could be saying she's just copying Taylor Swift to try.
She
and
might as well
hip.
just say it then, because this is dumb.
Well, that's a lot of what lawyering
because
does.
She asked for $1 in symbolic damages, right?
And I think I said at that point I had not been familiar with it, but I since am.
Now you are. But at the time, a couple years ago in 2020, you didn't know anything about Taylor Swift's $1 symbolic damage lawsuit?
Just relevance, Your Honor.
Counsel?
Because I asked her about it at the time, and she denied it.
Oh, she's trying to do the like, oh, well, you also lied. You also lied in your deposition. It's like, if she did lie about that, that's a way less important thing than all the other shit. Like, he lied about how big he was, like how much he weighed, which matters in a collision like that.
Can you answer the question?
I was not aware at the time.
Are you good friends with Taylor Swift?
No.
Overruled?
You're not good friends with Taylor Swift.
I would not say we're good friends. We are friendly. I've taken my kids to one of her concerts before, but we don't talk very often.
You've never given Miss Swift personal, intimate gifts for Christmas.
What?
Your Honor.
Yeah. She bought her a lace teddy to wear.
I did give her a vagina candle.
Yeah.
Relevance, or I would
Sustained as
like
to
a
relevance.
bench trial.
Well, she's just said that she wasn't friends with her, so I'm inquiring.
Did
on
she
that.
buy Taylor Swift a dildo?
Anything can be a dildo if you try hard enough.
The vagina
man.
candle? Dude, it's her vagina candle, and she wanted Taylor Swift to, like, use her vagina candle.
If that's the intimate gift we're talking
Is
about.
everyone getting aroused right now?
I'm not. I
Oh.
should be, though.
All right.
Ask her about Oprah. I mean,
Mr. Owens, sustained. Please move on.
You're telling the jury that you are here asking for $1.
I am.
That's not totally accurate, though, is it?
What do you mean?
Well, the jury isn't going to be deciding this, but you're also asking the judge to award you attorney's fees for over hundreds of thousands of dollars. Isn't that true?
Your Honor, the judge has made a ruling on this issue that it will be a separate event.
All right, we're going to watch a little more of this. But before we do, I want to remind everyone that tonight, immediately following this show, we're going to go live off platform where we get away with a lot more. And we're going to continue our review of this documentary where this young guy sued Pepsi because they promised a Harrier jet if you saved enough Pepsi points, and he got them, and they were like, no, that was just a joke, guy. Here's a coupon. And it got pretty intense, and we've only done one part of it so far, so it's not too late to sign up. Patreon.com/DP. Patreon.com/DP. $10 level, $10 monthly level. We're going to be going through this over the next month and a half or so. So you should sign up. It's cool. It's an interesting story.
It's never too late to touch butts.
Too late to touch butts. All right, let's just do a little more of this. What was the thing you were telling me that happened?
Well, I sent you a link.
Oh, did you?
in case-
Okay, I just now saw it.
Because it seems to be like 2 hours. Like
I was gonna
probably
like
should have
skip.
found someone who's already edited everything down.
I
to
couldn't
the
find that.
highlight parts.
Not that part of it anyway. But I wasn't aware of that highlight. All right, let's see.
I don't know exactly what this pertains to in her deposition, but it's pretty crazy testimony from Gwyneth
And there
Paltrow.
was a man behind me pressing into me. How did you know it was a man?
Because he was making some strange noises that sounded male, and he was large. So I assumed it was a male.
Okay, he was large?
I felt all my back pressing.
I didn't know if it was an...
So was he like dry humping her or something? Like he said, that would be insane if he like was like dry humping her and then was just like, yeah, she ran into me and she injured me.
intentional assault of a sexual nature.
Right.
Okay. Was he grinding and thrusting or something, or just the noises? What made you think it was a sexual assault?
So that was a quick thought that went through my head when I was trying to reconcile what was happening. I was skiing and two skis came between my skis, forcing my legs apart, and then there was a body pressing against me, and there was a very strange grunting noise.
So her testimony is that he ran into her from behind.
Yeah, I that's why I only saw this clip, and I figured that this would be what everybody was talking about.
Because, like, in most circumstances, when you're driving, if someone rear ends you, it's their fault. Like, it would be very rare the other way around. Like, you would have to, like, just suddenly slam on the brakes, like, super hard or something without anything in front of you for you to be at fault in that situation. So that's weird.
So my brain was trying to make sense of what was happening.
Okay.
Is that
That's
clip?
the whole clip. It was a short, so...
Yeah, I thought we'd find more of that from the testimony, because when I saw that, I was like, what the hell is she talking about?
Okay, let me see.
And then this guy over here is talking about, I heard a death-curdling screech. And he's all scared, and I'm wondering if this guy was doing the splits with his skis.
hanky-panky?
What's going on?
All right. Yeah, I'll get that.
Homicide thinks the judge sniffed the seat that she's sitting in. That's not professional conduct.
I remember I think she was like dating Brad Pitt back in the day.
I think she did date Brad.
Yeah, I remember that. It's interesting. Here, I'll have it.
I got to know.
No, it's Mr. Sykes who asked the question when I read it. Then I'm going to have you answer. Now, Ms. Paltrow, and this is, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm starting on line 4.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Ms. Paltrow, isn't it true? Isn't it true? I'm just a country lawyer here.
Is that like a fucking line from a movie?
I'm just a simple country lawyer.
Country lawyer.
I'm just a simple country
Like,
lawyer.
what is that? The two youths.
Isn't it true that your kids wanted to watch you ski? Or, pardon me, that the kids wanted you to watch them ski? Isn't that true? And your counsel, he objected. How did you answer that question?
Let's read the objection, Your Honor, if we're going to do this.
The objection was vague as to time.
Do you want me to rule on the objection? I mean,
If we're going to read it, then we should read the objection.
Okay, read it.
Yes, the objection said vague as to time.
Yes.
Yes, and then how did you respond?
I said I can still watch my children ski and be skied directly into my back by someone.
And then you continued.
Which is what happened.
Exactly. So you were watching your children when you alleged that you were skied directly into your back by someone.
My daughter was down the hill. My son was to my left. So I was skiing. My eyes were not fixated only on my son when Mr. Sanderson skied directly into my back.
So he's saying he skied directly into her.
Yeah.
He heard a blood-curdling scream, he said.
Yeah, from him running into her.
It was his scream?
Miss Oakes, who's going to testify next week, said that your son Moses was saying, "Mommy, Mommy, watch me." That's who you were watching, right?
That's vague as to time, Your Honor.
Right, yes.
Overruled, go ahead.
Thank you.
Sorry, what was the question?
When Moses is saying, "Mommy, Mommy, watch me," that's who you were looking at when you were when you were skied directly into your back.
I do not recall Moses saying, "Mommy, Mommy, watch me" on the ski slope.
Okay. Well, Apple was down further, right?
Yes.
She didn't see it.
No.
Okay. And Moses, he was the one, at least according to Carrie Oakes, was calling your attention.
Okay.
Okay. 9-year-old, did he want more attention to have somebody watch them rather than 11?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Moses was skiing above you, though, right? He hadn't gotten down as far as you.
He was.
Generic Minority says she's not a good actress, so she may be telling the truth. Has fucked up. Remember when Amber Heard Remember when Amber Heard was on the stand? And she was definitely poorly acting. It was like the most obvious bad acting. I actually felt bad for her. I felt bad for her. She'd been in a $1 billion movie.
It's on my left.
And up.
I was on the right. He was, oops, sorry. He was on the left side of the slope. Yes, I believe kind of a little bit uphill.
Okay. And that's where your attention was when you were hit, allegedly, in the back.
I don't know where my attention was the moment I was struck in the back. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, that's what you said, which is what happened.
He struck me in the back. Yes, that's exactly what happened.
I know, but
Yeah, it doesn't matter where your attention was before it happened. That doesn't matter. If you're just suddenly struck in the back, that's where your attention is right away. Doesn't matter what else was going on. If you were hit in the back.
My children ski.
Yes,
and he's
meaning
directly into my back by someone, which is what happened.
Yes, exactly.
What's the pending question? It sounds like they're saying the exact same thing.
Huh?
What's the question?
The question is, you were watching your children ski when you were struck in the back.
So that's asked and answered, Your Honor.
Overruled?
I was skiing and looking downhill as you do, and I was skied directly into by Mr. Sanderson.
And your 9-year-old son, you will admit, was on your left and up bit.
To my recollection.
Okay. All right. And Carrie Oakes is the one who says that he was the one calling your attention.
You'll have to speak to Miss Oakes.
We will. All right. So I want to go through the accident a bit because we did this over video. We didn't really get to act it out a whole heck of a lot. But I want to just kind of talk with you first and see if this is your recollection of how it happened.
Your Honor, I think this is improper. She should just ask her what happened, and if she testified contrary to that earlier, then she cross-examines her with the deposition.
And what's the objection?
Improper use of deposition testimony.
It's a party. Under Rule 32, it can be used for any purpose. You may proceed.
Thank you. You were going along relatively slowly. Is that fair?
This judge is holding his posture like he
I'm
is
gonna
just
kinda
so
ask you
happy
a
to be
couple
between
questions,
these
so let me know if
two
anything
lovely
I
women.
say is not
He's like,
accurate.
so into it.
So you're going down relatively slowly when all of a sudden you heard a strange rustling noise behind you.
Yes.
Okay. And you felt like a rush of air in a strange way.
Yes.
Okay. And two skis slid in between my skis.
That's correct.
And all of a sudden, there was a body from the whole front of a body pressing into my back.
So we heard this part, right?
All right.
Got very upset a couple seconds later.
Okay. Let me just continue on here. I just want to.
Well, was this
make
the
sure
part
that
with
I got
the
this all right. I
the
didn't
sexual
know if it
assault?
was an
Yeah. Don't we want to hear the whole context around it?
Okay.
Isn't that the best part
and I
about it? Is
agree.
knowing the context around it?
And I froze, and I would say I got very upset a couple seconds later.
Hold on.
Okay.
Sorry.
Slid in between my skis.
That's correct.
And all of a sudden, there was a body from the whole front of a body pressing into my back.
That's right.
Okay. Like, we'll talk about this in a minute. And there was a man behind me pressing into me. How did you know it was a man?
Because he was making some strange noises that sounded male, and he was large. So I assumed it was a male.
Okay, he was large?
I felt all my back pressing.
Okay.
I felt his throbbing hard on.
All right, there was a man pressing behind me, pressing into me. I was extremely upset.
Well, I was confused at first, and I didn't know exactly what was happening. It's a very strange thing to happen on a ski slope. And then
I agree.
And I froze, and I would say I got very upset a couple seconds later.
All right. So, yeah, I think we've heard all we need.
I suppose if you did, this is like the whole part that I was interested in.
Okay. We'll let it finish.
Continue on
Let me
here.
do,
I just want to make sure that I got this all right. I didn't know if it was an intentional assault of a sexual nature.
Right.
Okay. Was he grinding and thrusting or something, or just the noises? What made you think it was a sexual
I hear
assault?
grinding and thrusting.
So that was a quick thought.
And
that
Ben's
went through
like,
my
no,
head
we've
when I
heard
was trying
enough.
to reconcile what was happening. I was skiing, and two skis came between my skis, forcing my legs apart, and then there was a body pressing against me, and there was a very strange grunting noise. So my brain was trying to make sense of what was happening.
Are we in a rush? Like, is there a reason why we're speeding this up?
Is someone like?
I mean,
doing
we can
something
hear
perverted?
it,
This
right?
Is really, really.
We listened to that other guy go slow.
We've
for
already
like an
heard this
hour.
entire part that she's doing.
We
here.
heard like a second of this.
No,
This
no,
is-
literally from like the skis between her legs all the way up till this.
Yeah, but it's gonna like go further into detail of the situation.
Okay.
Right, my mind was going very, very quickly.
I feel like this is the most important part of all the
you're
footage.
talking over it
I
right
think you
now.
said, I didn't know if it was an accident, but he was groaning and grunting in a very disturbing way.
Yes, there was a sort of groan coming out of his mouth.
Okay. Then you said, I froze.
Yes.
We kept skiing.
Right.
We went to the right.
Yes.
We came crashing down together.
That's right.
Okay. You said this man was behind me on the mountain. My knee and our skis were still sort of tangled up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Is that yes?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. Our bodies were almost spooning, and I moved away quickly.
Yes.
And my knee splayed open, and I was completely in shock.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stop there.
Okay.
And if the court and Ms. Paltrow, if you don't mind, since, again, when we did this over Zoom, would you mind stepping down and us kind of acting this out a little bit so I could get a good feel?
Let's see. Can we approach Your Honor?
Well, do we have her acting out the crash?
There might be.
Well, like, I feel like this is the important part of it all. Like, this part here seems like the most interesting part of all of this. Not ho-hum fucking Colonel Sanderson and his chicken
I am going
farm.
to try and be both you and Mr. Sanderson at the same time.
Let's
Fair?
have Bob. Bob can be.
Bob! Let's have Bob.
Let's have him come. I don't want to. We're not going to reenact what happened. I think you can ask questions, and
Yes.
if you want to stand and
No,
move
Bob,
around
come
in
up
order
here
to
and
help
smash
you with
into
those
her for
questions,
me
you
real
can do
quick,
that, but
okay?
that's as far as we're gonna
Do
go.
the spooning,
that's
Bob.
not a problem at all. All right, so
Bob came
since
up like,
you're
"I'm
not
ready."
Down here.
Send Gwyneth over here.
May I ask how tall you are?
I'm just under 5'10".
Okay, I am so jealous.
I think I'm shrinking though.
You and me both.
Bad
I have
spine
to
day
wear
for
4
Gwen.
inch heels just to make it to 5'5".
Well,
so
they're very nice.
Oh, thank you. So, all right. So
I love the like passive
as of right
aggressive
now,
compliments.
Well, I think
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Okay.
Okay.
you could be nice
Skiing
and
down.
also.
Can you tell me with my legs? I don't
Win.
know. Again, I'm not much of a skier. Are you snow plowing? Are you parallel? Kind of orient my legs first of all.
Orient my express.
I can do this. I can do this.
Not snow plowing, just
Okay.
skis.
All right.
It's hard for me to see where you're standing.
May she come down just to see?
Get Bob over here.
Is that
Bob,
okay?
You can
give
see better. You
Gwyneth
can
a
walk
hug.
Further forward, Miss Van.
Oh, sure.
Can we send Bob down here?
No problem.
Bob Spoon with the attorney, please.
The jury, you can go ahead and stand.
this
or
turn
move
into a
wherever you
weird,
feel you need to see what's going on here.
All right.
Assault of its own.
Are my feet oriented correctly?
Yes.
Go ahead and tell me how to move them.
I think, skiing down, going
Why
to
is the
right.
camera
Okay,
not on
so
this?
Okay,
about-
probably
The
a little
court's
bit
not
further
set up
apart.
Oh
for this.
yeah, the camera's
And
set
then
to be
two
on one
skis
place.
slide
Yeah.
slowly between my skis.
All right. So my feet are about, what, a foot apart? Would you say 18 inches?
This woman lawyers
Probably.
probably gets
Okay.
paid like $300
And
to
you believe that
$400
two
an hour.
skis slid
I just wanna point that
right
out.
Between.
That is correct.
Okay.
This guy thought
And
this guy
so
thought he was
all
going
of
to
a
make
sudden
bank
you see
suing
these two
Gwyneth Paltrow.
skis
He's going to owe
coming
double
in
lawyer
between your
fees.
legs. I would have freaked out too.
And I did.
Okay. So the skis are coming. How far did the skis get in between your legs before you guys fell?
That weird zoom on the The handle.
His
It's so
body
slow.
pressed up into my back.
Okay.
So I froze. I don't know exactly how far the skis would have come through.
Okay.
Because then I noticed his body pressing against my back.
Okay.
And then it was probably a few good seconds, and then we fell to the right. Somebody must have caught an edge.
Okay. So when you froze and you're skiing together, I think you said at one point it was like you were spooning.
Well, when we fell down, I fell on his body. He fell on the ground.
He grabbed a little
So
side
it was kind
boob.
of like a spoon on the ground.
Okay. So
Your Honor, the defendant has come into the well of the court here.
Why can't we sing it to the
Here's Bob.
I think it's fine.
When do I get to spoon with her?
okay. Well, now
Will
that
it
Mr.
Bob
Sanderson
spoon
is
with her?
here, and I don't need you to do anything, Terry, but
This
just for
fucking group of
comparison's sake,
goons.
They're all lawyers.
I'm in my heels. We're about the same height, about 5'5" with heels.
It's roughly.
Oh, tell me I'm taller, please. Okay, we've got Mr. Sanderson that's about 5'5".
This is
that
such
comes in back of you, and you
nonsense.
said that you felt something huge.
Every like
What was your word?
15 minutes is billable, by the way.
big
I love how she can
body.
just.
A big body. All right.
She could just
And
stretch out
was
this
it just
trial.
the front of his body that touched the back of your body?
I
Say
couldn't
it a
see
little
the back of
slower,
my head,
please.
Sure.
but I felt a body press against my back.
But there was no
Fuck.
grabbing, like nobody that he didn't like grab your waist or grab your
No.
arm.
Fact,
not at
mint
all.
salad,
Like
fact.
Nothing.
Okay. All right. So skis slide between, you kind of freeze, you end up, maybe your skis kind of cross, you end up going down. Would you agree that Mr. Sanderson fell to the ground and then you fell on top?
I don't know if it was simultaneous. I don't remember.
But you didn't fall and hit the ground, correct?
I don't remember exactly where I hit.
Okay.
But I fell over.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be a new, more modern production quality to these since they get so much attention. So I agree also with Mint Salad's take.
Somebody needs to sign a bill giving us full production.
I'm glad Mint Salad clarified who they were because I would have thought it was Riley instead.
I think it was. I think he was trying to get our attention by
What?
claiming to be mint salad. I would have
What?
given Riley the attention. Though. I would have rubbed his belly. I love him.
I'm going to start a poll. I want everyone's opinion on this news story here because someone got fired and for a news anchor got fired for saying something that I'm pretty sure she has heard but probably was too old to realize what she was saying. Check this out.
Up with.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
They're talking about Snoop Dogg's wine brand because Snoop Dogg has like a brand of wine that they sell.
The Cali
like, everywhere.
Rose.
Yeah. So the
This is
woman in the
Paula
middle.
Deen?
So they're talking about it here, and the woman in the middle, who looks like she's probably like in her 50s, responds to this.
Before we know it, she'd have a Snoop Dogg tattoo on her shoulder.
For shizzle, my nizzle.
I'm telling you, Julie, what you think about that? Huh? She said.
Huh?
Well, get this.
Look at the guy on the right's face.
Yeah,
his
like,
reaction is like,
I'm up with.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Before we know it, she'd have a Snoop Dogg tattoo on her shoulder.
For shizzle.
A Snoop Dogg tattoo on her shoulder.
My nizzle.
I'm telling you.
His face dropped.
After she said that, like, oh God,
He's
no.
like,
no.
I'm gonna get her job.
What do you think about that? Huh? She said.
Well, get this.
Well, get this. I had no idea.
She probably had no idea.
I
at
had
this
no
point.
idea what that meant. If I knew what it meant, I would have just said white Mississippi anchor. Who, by the way, doesn't look that white.
I have no idea. Maybe she's just really tan. It
She's
is Mississippi.
more fat than anything. They should say fat Mississippi anchor. They should say Paula Deen ass looking Mississippi anchor.
Still white.
According to Mississippi Clarion Ledger, a white Mississippi news anchor for WLBT may have been terminated for referencing a Snoop Dogg line. While speaking to a colleague on air while reporting on a story regarding the entertainer's wine, Snoop Kelly Blanc, she said, "Faux shizzle, my expletive deleted." For those who aren't necessarily hip-hop fans or is in tune with Snoop Dogg, that's slang for sure my expletive deleted.
See, here's the thing. We've already said, like, we say the N-word, and it means that word without actually saying the word.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I don't think nizzle is a deal. Nizzle. Like, I don't think that's a big deal. I don't think it is.
One, Ben, I'll tell you why it's a big deal.
It's not saying the actual word.
This is the big deal, Ben. Saying the N-word in no realm is cool, okay? Saying the faux shizzle used to be cool 10 years ago, and we're not allowed to use racial undertones in a cool way as white people. We can only go around saying, like, cracker, honky. That's all we can. It has to be very uncool.
No thanks.
Very uncool, Ben.
No thank you.
In about 10 more years, that will be so uncool, white people can say it again. But we're still at an era where it's moderately cool.
Do you see this, though? Read this paragraph here at the top. It's ridiculous.
Barbie Bassett is the news anchor who uttered the phrase to another anchor during the televised program. This took place earlier this month on March 8, and she hasn't been on air since. And her name is no longer listed on the news station's website.
Erased her. They didn't even make a statement on it.
I like how they gave this advertisement here. This is like a heavily toned.
This is Black Enterprise.
Yeah, they're like, we're not gonna.
It's a website for black people.
They're really trying to oversell that they're on the good side of history.
I've heard certain people, though, coming to her defense, though.
Bassett and WLBT anchor Wilson Stribling were reporting on Snoop's latest entry to his Cali wine collection. At the end of the news report, Wilson jokingly stated that Bassett would be getting a Snoop Dogg tattoo on her shoulder, to which she responded, "Faux shizzle, my expletive deleted."
You won't even say it?
Fuck no.
Really?
Yeah. Say Cheese, DGTL, tweeted, Mississippi news anchor fired for saying "faux shizzle, my expletive deleted" live on air when discussing Snoop Dogg's new wine collection. Barbie Bassett has been a news anchor at the company for over 20 years.
Big Diesel says, "Do it, Billy."
Although the Mississippi Clarion Ledger contacted the station for questions related to Bassett's absence since the program aired, officials from WLBT have not returned phone calls, emails, or texts to respond to the inquiry.
They're just running from it. They're like, "You're terminated." It's like when WWE deleted Chris Benoit from existence.
This is almost as bad as murdering your wife, child, and self.
No. I'm not saying it's a comparable thing.
No, I'm saying this is almost as bad.
Saying nizzle?
Ben, stop.
It's not the same word. It's not the same word.
This is almost as bad as murdering your wife, son, and self. General Manager Ted Fortenberry did make a statement via social media. As I'm sure you can understand, WLBT is unable to comment on personal matters. I think what actually happened was she had a couple of cases of that Snoop Cali wine given to her. She went on a bender, got that tattoo, and is living her best life.
Do you agree with the news anchor being fired? Is the poll right now? It's 80% no, 14% yes.
Yeah, obviously.
I see Joe in the chat. What's up, Joe? Joe, I'm looking at Yankee tickets coming up here soon. So if you're going to a Yankee game, I'm in. At the end of May, the Yankees are playing in Seattle. Gotta go.
Joe is a diehard Yankee fan.
Yep. Yeah. If the Yankees win, Joe will troll the Mariners fans. He'll play New York, New York by Frank Sinatra really loud.
Does he bring a personal speaker?
No, he does it from his car while he's like driving. Oh. You know, while all the Mariner fans are leaving the stadium upset that the Yankees beat them, he'll be like blaring that shit driving around.
Does he ever catch like a IPA, just a locally brewed IPA thrown at his car?
No,
for that?
I think Mariners fans are used to losing. Like last year was the
Yeah.
best season they had in like 20 years. So I'm going to close the poll. Looks like 88% say no, and I agree.
Yeah.
Here's
Wrong
another
side of history, all of you.
Here's another news anchor apologize. They actually let this one do an apology for something else that's hilarious too. Check this out.
I did make a mistake during our Catterday segment. I used a submitted photo of a cat with an inappropriate name. I don't want to use the name here, but
Was it,
I never intended.
Yeah, guess.
It was HR. No, who's the guy who did Cthulhu? J.R. Puff and stuff?
No, that was a weird children's show. J.R.
Yeah,
Puff.
who wrote the Cthulhu gimmick? I can never remember his name. Was it his cat?
No.
H.P. Lovecraft. Yeah, was it
No.
H.P. Lovecraft's cat?
H.P. Lovecat?
H.P. Lovecraft notoriously had a shitlord cat name.
No. Well, I don't know. What was the cat's name?
I can't say it. Yeah, Willie basically said it. Pre-N, expletive deleted man.
To hurt or offend anyone by using that picture that was actually just given to me. I understand my mistake and I am deeply sorry. And in the future, I will absolutely be more diligent with this content to ensure it never happens again.
Do we know what the cat's name was?
Here it is. Here it is. This is the segment that she's apologizing for. Here it is.
Degrees below zero right now, so certainly this is kind of weather for the cats. So we've got our Saturday night forecast for you now, where we are featuring Kittler.
Hitler.
Why?
Because it has a little Hitler
Why?
mustache. That's so cute.
Why?
That is fucking adorable.
Why?
Hitler.
Thanks to Debbie Alexander, and I think Kittler kind of looks like
Anyway.
That's fucked up.
What, Kittler?
Fucked up. I don't believe that mustache is real.
I think if it was fake, it would look better. It's just like random spots. I was just sent another.
You know why they let her apologize?
Why?
She's not white. If she was white, she'd be
What is
sucking
she?
fucking
What
dick
is she?
with Paula Dean.
What is she?
She East Islander? What is she? Polynesian?
Oh, I have no idea.
I like to hear this might be racist. I like to refer to everyone non-white as off-white. That could be racist.
Coroner is still trying to determine the cause of death and whether she was already dead when the truck hit her. We have new information.
Okay, yeah, this was just sent to me. They're like, meanwhile, this reporter didn't get fired. That's because it was written for them to read. This is a troll. There was like a plane in Asia that crashed, and like some trolls sent in fake information about the names of some of the people that were on the plane.
It's the Malaysian plane
Now,
from like
also
5
on the
years
plane
ago,
crash,
6 years
KTVU
ago.
has just learned the names of the 4 pilots who were on board the flight. They are Captain Sum Ting Wong, Wee Tu Lo, Ho Li Fook, and Bang Ding Ao. The NTSB has confirmed these are the names of the pilots on board Flight 214 when it crashed. We are working to determine exactly what roles each of them played during the landing on Saturday. Investigators will be...
Oh, my God. Oh.
I've been told by Dylan DePickle, who is consistently correct on every statement ever made, that what I said earlier was insanely racist. And I would like to apologize.
Damn, my nizzle.
Because I am the only good host of Drunken Peasants.
Wow, why do you have to be so mean?
I'm just apologizing. You're over here repeating your mistakes over and over again, Ben. Over and over. And I'm trying to do better. I'm trying.
Oh, this is hilarious. I saw this the other day. It's Fox News using some very selective footage to make Biden look like a buffoon and a creeper. but it was very effective the way they presented it. I saw like the full thing.
Why do you even have to use select footage? You not see the video of Biden getting led around by a blind man last week?
No, I didn't see
There's
that.
a fucking blind man leading Biden around.
This is great though. Check this out.
From the White House.
It makes him look feeble and like not all there upstairs and weird because he says some weird stuff about good-looking kids. So check this out.
My name is Joe Biden.
He's working the room too, by the way. He does like he's got like the handheld mic, like he's doing like an open mic night at the Comedy Store or something.
I'm Dr. Joe Biden's husband. And I ate Jenny's ice cream, chocolate chip.
Look at the headline at the bottom.
Was this from him addressing the Nashville school shooting?
This was right after it happened.
So he doesn't know about it yet, or is he leading into the school shooting with his chalky chip ice cream
This
stand-up?
is so good, dude. Check that.
From the White House.
My name is Joe Biden. I'm Dr. Joe Biden's husband. And I ate Jenny's ice cream, chocolate chip.
So this is not from him addressing the Nashville school shooting. They just cut this beforehand and put it in.
I came down because I heard there was chocolate chip ice cream. By the way, I have a whole refrigerator full upstairs. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. God.
You think I don't care about the children? You'd be
Oh, my
wrong.
God.
I got a refrigerator with ice cream up in my quarters. Come sit with me and rub the fur down my legs as I feed you chocolate chip mint.
And how are you, pal? One of the best guys in the United States Congress, Ben Cardin. Folks,
what the fuck?
He set down the handheld mic, and it's
What
like
in the motherfuck?
whoever's doing the sound there wasn't prepared to for that to
delight to have
happen.
you all here. And who are those good-looking kids back there? They're your kids, all four of them? Well, stand up, guys.
You're not going to miss one of them. You got four of them. Let me have one.
John, we'll jump back in here.
Here's the Fox News host right on cue.
Considering the moment,
we were
there's a
told
school
that the
shooting that just happened, left 3 children dead, 3 adults dead, shooters dead, and we were told he would be addressing this off the top.
Yeah, it's rather surprising. I thought that a somber President Biden would have come to the podium here and addressed the school shooting.
Nope.
Do they just have like the wrong feed?
Well, they claim they were expecting him to address it because it had already happened, but he's out there doing a monologue on chocolate chip ice cream. I got a whole fridge full of it. I only came to. It's funny because this was supposed to be where he addressed the school shooting. He's like, only came down here because I heard they had chocolate chip ice cream. He loves his chocolate chip ice cream. Your thoughts?
This is ridiculous. I don't get how this exists. There's got to be some sort of bad faith, right?
I mean, it's Fox News, right? They had the.
Teddy says this is not real.
It is real.
We're being told we're being trolled.
No, that's not true. At the end, you hear the reporter saying we expected him to talk about the school shooting. It had just happened, and he's delivering a monologue on chocolate chip ice cream. Got a whole fridge full of it. Those good-looking kids.
People are saying AI deepfake. I don't know. This is fucking. This broke me.
It's definitely presented very dishonestly.
If I had to choose between ice cream and school shootings, I'd choose ice cream too. But I'm not the fucking president.
What if cringe rap or teacher cringe rap is going on though?
I would take ice cream over teacher cringe rap.
No, I mean a shooting at the school where the teacher cringe rap is going on.
It's gotta. If it's gotta happen, might as well be during a teacher cringe rap. I'd prefer no school
Welcome back
shootings.
to Hannity. Now, moments ago, I wrapped up an extensive, wide-ranging interview with former President Donald J. Trump. Here is part 2 of that interview. Take a look. I want to talk about elections. And I agree with you, and you mentioned at your rally last night, it's a position I share. I would like to see Election Day be a national holiday. I would like elections to be paper ballots, making exceptions for the military, the sick, the elderly, those exceptions. They could apply for an absentee ballot. I would like a national holiday, partisan observers in every precinct watching the vote all day long.
I heard that Trump is
when the polls
completely
close.
like almost like it's hard to even. He makes no coherent thoughts.
Watching the vote counting. At the end of the night, you declare a winner. Okay. It seems Democrats are more involved in voting early. They're more involved in voting by mail. And most states, most people may not know this, have...
They're more involved in voting, and that's why they get the most votes.
Legal ballot harvesting. It's been embraced by the Democrats and not by the Republicans. There are states that are exceptions, like Florida. You know, you have now changed your position. Do you think that Republicans' reluctance and resistance to mail-in ballots and voting early and ballot harvesting like Democrats, has that been a mistake? Was that the mistake in 2022?
I never changed anything. What I did is say mail-in ballots are automatically corrupt. If you have mail-in ballots, you're going to have very dishonest elections. France had mail-in ballots. They had to go away from it. They had an election.
They went back to paper
They went back
ballots.
to paper ballots, and by 10 o'clock in the evening, everybody was happy. It was announced, and that was it. You want paper ballots. You want same-day voting, ideally, because, you know, we have elections where they sit around for 62 days. Big boxes of ballots are laying all over the floor. You take a look at what happened in Atlanta and some of these other places. But they're sitting all over the floor. They have wheelbarrows carrying ballots.
I thought he was in favor of paper ballots, but now he's like, oh, they got these ballots everywhere, and they got to count them, and it takes like days.
He's just saying that he's always thought that they were corrupt. He hasn't changed his opinion on it. They can be corrupted. They are corrupted, but he would like to utilize them.
62 days in some cases. So you have months of elections, and people are saying, what's going on? Boxes are moving from here to there. It's ridiculous. We should have
I mean, yeah, they put the ballots in boxes and move them to a counting facility. They don't count them in the actual polling location.
voting. We should have paper ballots, and we should have one other thing, voter ID.
I mean, we have voting by mail here, but it's still paper ballots. Like, it's still like a piece of paper with like barcodes and shit all over it. And you can actually track it when you vote here. Like, there's a little like tab that you tear off with a number on it, and you can track your vote. Like when you mail it back in, and it tells you when it's been received and when it's been counted, and if there was any trouble with it, like if your ballot was unreadable for some reason, you can actually get another one at that point. So
I feel like mail, paper, all this stuff is old technology.
yeah, I mean they use they use one of the oldest technologies, the U.S. Postal Service, to like get you this shit. But you know what, like. I think it works. Here it's
Works, but
it's way easier here than any other state I've ever lived in.
With like the advancement of crypto technology and security.
Blockchain?
Yeah, with security like that, we should really move voting to something a little more futuristic.
It's really not it's really not secure though. Like the amount of voter fraud that even occurs just in this state alone is so low, it's negligible.
Yeah, but the amount of work that would be like the time it would take to count all the ballots would be.
Well, they use machine. They don't count them by hand.
Yeah, but they still have to run through the machines. If we just had a crypto like a connection, a secure connection, everybody would be able to cast their vote, and we'd know when votes closed. But I guess they want that fucking pageantry because the whole thing is pageantry. The next 4 years of the presidential run is pageantry. Ben has to leave the room whenever I talk about the pageantry of politics because he is held accountable for what I say when he's here, but not when he's gone. So you guys know, Ben, he's a good guy. He just can't speak freely like I can. He's held accountable. Me, I'm not. I'm sick in the head. I have problems. I can say whatever the fuck I want. Nobody takes me seriously. It's perfect. How you guys doing tonight? Matthew Krecklau. Much love, Matthew Krecklau. For Shipple, my nipple. Can I say nipple? You guys really want me to say nasty, racist words? Sickos. I hope all of you sickos repent and learn from your mistakes. I look at you and I feel bad. I feel bad that you're all so weak of mind and weak of integrity. But I won't budge. I won't budge. Not because I don't want to say the word, because I think it's funnier if I avoid not saying it. You sick little fucks. I actually adore you. Thank you for playing along with it all night long. We've been having fun, right? Got a good turnout, 359 people watching. Sometimes I'm sitting here and there's 224 people. And you're not typing. You're not telling me to say expletive deleted. This is a good crowd. We're having fun. That being said, I won't budge on my standards because I'm a man of true virtue. And I signal that every day. The Gwyneth Grope session slowed the show down. Psst, please. That was fire. That Grope session was the best part of that entire court case. We sat there for 28 minutes watching the old guy talk about his ski friends. Then finally we get to Gwyneth Paltrow over here talking about having her skis split open by the big man behind her. Holy shit. Holy shit. That was content. No one can tell Billy what to do. That's true, you mum. They can only suggest. You can even have my best intentions in mind when you suggest it. And it doesn't mean I'll do it. It doesn't. S-T-O-P. How many words can you spell with the letters S-T-O-P, Teddy Rubskin? You and you alone. Type them out in the chat right now. Go. How many different words can you spell with the words S-T-O-P? Go. I'm testing Teddy Rubskin's genius right now.
Like all conspiracy idiots, Trump saw something he didn't understand, the voting process, and created a scenario where something sinister is going on.
Well, he had to answer the fact that he was losing, right? He ran on conspiracy. He ran on the Kenya gimmick, saying Obama had no birth certificate. He wrote that all the way through to the White House on every conspiracy on the way there. Had the valor of QAnon, the QAnon story running for him.
He already said that if he lost, it was rigged, like before he even ran against Hillary.
He said if he lost to Hillary, it was rigged.
Yeah,
he
that's
was
what I
ready
mean.
to go out with the rig the entire time. We got another little bit here from obviously not Riley. Mint Salad says, gotta skewer back up. I didn't catch a lot of these live, but it's a great show as usual. I would love to come on sometime now that I have finally passed 3K subs. Look, nobody cares about your sub count here. We don't have women on the show.
No, actually, I tried to get Mint Salad on a while back, and I think the whole stipulation was that she passed 3K subs.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, no, I would have brought you on back then Come on now.
No, it wasn't my stipulation. It was hers.
Well, shit, she's building these glass ceilings for herself. We're feminists, Ben. She's the one holding women back.
Okay.
But yeah, come on. And then if you do good, can we have Riley on, please? Please?
Just have them both on. There's two squares.
I don't know if they want to share the screen.
Oh.
I think they might want to have their own time.
They both punched Ethan Ralph in the face. They both punched the fuck out of Ethan Ralph's head multiple times.
That's fun. How's it feel to know you're officially the weakest people to fight Ethan Ralph?
Oh my God.
And it's not a slight against you. The other two times,
Well,
he got
I think
fights.
he got he got stomped so badly.
The other
first
two times, there was
the second time was like what he took
it
like
was still not as. It was still not as like I love the video Riley meant the fight that was great, but those other two fights.
The second one was like he got a little bloodied up. The first one was like a savage
he got embarrassed
beatdown.
on the fucking street.
Yeah.
Slapped around on his sitting in tummy. He was in his crisscross applesauce getting smacked around. So like, nothing against Mint or Riley. I loved that. I adored the fucking footage, but from the 3 ass kickings we've seen, no, come on and defend yourself, please, because you've been about that life. I only joke about it. I wouldn't even want to fight Ethan. I have nothing against Ethan Ralph. I'd probably end up fighting him just because he's cantankerous.
Cantankerous is a weird word to use for him.
We'd probably end up getting in a fight just because we'd both be drunk and someone would say something about the other's gunt. Then we'd start sumo wrestling.
The battle of the guns.
No, but set something up. Get Mint on, get Riley on, get everybody we can on. I am excited to have more guests on the show.
Yeah, Hannibal and Monty, though, like, they're so hard to get a hold of these days. It's like, do they have an agent?
Hannibal has been doing big time Oscar award music.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if it's Oscars, but he's been doing very well with his music. So he might be too busy. And Monty has, I think, fucked both of his parents.
Yeah, he did.
According to that clip. I don't know what's going on with them either, but
yeah, so in a minute here we're going to do our part 2 of our reaction to the whole situation where this guy sued Pepsi to get a Harrier jet. It's really weird what happens. You guys should sign up, patreon.com/DP. Patreon.com/DP. We're going to go there in a couple minutes here.
I think in the entire Mint Salad shit talk session, I didn't congratulate Mint Salad on 3K. Congratulations.
Congratulations. On the 3K.
Come on. Book them. It's time. Book them.
Shit. Harrier. It's the hairiest of the hairy jets. So
where's the hairy part? In the cockpit?
Yeah.
Nasty. There's shag carpet in the cockpit of a Harrier jet. It just smells like a 70s porn set in there. Nasty. Ladies and gentlemen. Patrons $10 and above can come watch the after episode over the top footage. And also that would include you to watch Friday's Actual Mania.
It's going to get
private
crazy.
show.
I got sent some promos, but I'm not going to play them until next time.
Yeah.
So, promos next time.
To lead into the event.
The Go Home Show. Because I'm sure Egghead will have a promo too. So we'll get to all of those next time. Please like the stream, and we'll see you all on Thursday.
Let's go.
Have a wonderful, wonderful night, everybody.
So the Biden joke about chocolate chip ice cream before addressing the school shooting in Nashville, that did happen. That did happen.
Was it like a totally different time?
They have. I just got the fact check for it. So it says, yes, U.S. President Biden did joke about chocolate chip ice cream before addressing the school shooting in Nashville.
Okay.
But his remarks have been stripped of significant context. It says that his joking remarks about ice cream in his first public statement since the shooter opened fire and killed 6 people at a school shooting in Nashville, Tennessee. Several social media users shared a short video clip by the conservative U.S. network Fox News as alleged proof that Biden did not, motherfucking fact check refreshed as I'm reading it, did not address the tragedy appropriately. In the clip, Biden starts speaking in front of an audience while the Aston reads, Biden addresses deadly Nashville school shooting, but his remarks are markedly lighthearted.
So that's exactly what I thought it was.
Thank you. My name is Joe Biden. I have a whole refrigerator full upstairs. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. Biden pauses repeatedly as the audience bursts into laughter. Since then, some social media users have been asking, is this real? The video footage is authentic. Joe Biden started his speech on Monday with these exact words, but most of the posts omit the context of Biden's remarks. His speech was not intended to address the shooting.
Of course not.
But was held for a very different event. As the transcript shows, the president was actually speaking at the Small Business Administration's Women's Business Summit hosted at the White House. Right before Biden started his remarks, the full footage of the event shows President Biden was cheerfully introduced to an audience of women business leaders. Hence, Biden's opening remarks were equally buoyant. That's kind of fucked for Fox to
I'm not
mislead
surprised.
that, but also
They had the headline down at the bottom while he's like talking about chocolate chip and attractive kids and shit. Like, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to
shout
go
out to
there
all
now.
the women business leaders out there.
SBA.
Very proud of you.
We'll see you over there now. We're going to start the show immediately. Go over there now. See you there.